Y'all think that's hard? Right? It may be challenging at times. So you, as y'all get older, certain things might happen to y'all, man. Right? But nevertheless, guess what? You got to remember these words that the Christ said, which was what? Said, hey, if you don't forgive men of their trespasses, your heavenly Father not gonna forgive you.
Right, right.
Right? So I praise to the Most High. Right before y'all leave, right? Y'all got any questions? Right? What did God call y'all before y'all leave? That's right. That's right. Y'all the Israelites, right? And as the Israelites, right, what's one commandment y'all learn that y'all gotta keep? We just talked about it. Right. And if you got a grudge, what you gotta do with it? You gotta let that thing go. Right? Y'all gotta let that thing go. All right, family? Y'all be safe while y'all down here, all right, Kings? All praise to the Most High. All right, all praise to the Most High. All right, as the Israelites, man, right, we gotta learn to love one another, man. Right? Gotta learn to love one another in these last days. Because if we don't love each other, hell, there ain't nobody else gonna do it. So-called white man, but damn, so not gonna love us. The East Indian man, they not going, right? The Arab man not gonna do it, right? None of these nations is gonna do it. So we gotta learn to love ourselves, man. Got to, right? That's imperative. It's imperative, it's imperative, it's imperative that we learn to love one another and we learn to do it in sincerity and in truth in the right way, right? Not how we think, because they can say love you and snake you, right? It's a whole trend going on for since what, like for damn near a decade. The slime, the slimies. What the hell is they? They wipe your nose, yeah, slime. And but they say that because they say, hey, they'll snake, they'll slime, they'll slime out their own brother, right? Young Thug, Young Thug, he did a song, right? He said in the song, in the verse, he was like, some he mad because I ain't paying for his lawyer. He gonna be all right. Literally, he literally said that. Right? He said, man, he said, N-word man, I ain't paying for his lawyer. He gonna be all right. It's crazy, man. Right? So no, we can't. That's not. They think they love their brothers. That's not loving your brothers, man. Loving your brothers is not allowing them to do dumb. For all those people that's around Pooh Shiesty, they don't love them.
Right.
They do not love him
At all.
And facts. First of all, it's bots, but also all the ones that went with him. You trying to tell me that they was all listening to that plan and nobody said this sound dumb as, excuse my language, but this sound dumb? Not one person, not one person said, man, you really think we like, is this necessary? Not one person said, look, we can go about it another way. Right? We could get the lawyers involved, or we could talk to them first. You feel me? Because they didn't even talk to him first. Like that was the first resort they went to. It ain't like they had our previous conversations with Gucci, and they like, man, hey, you feel me? You think you can let me go? Like whatever it is, like allow me to go search out, allow me to go find a label, let them buy you out. So it's not like you not getting your money's worth. You still gonna get your money. You go, I'll let and find another label that'll buy me out. When they buy me out, like just let me do my thing. I wanna do my own thing. That conversation never happened. They just went straight to Negro stuff, right? Straight to Negro stuff, man. And that's what we can't do, right? We got to learn how to love one another, man. So they put the pistol to the damn Draco to his head.
Right.
Said sign the paper, man. Is that love? That's not love, right? That is not love, right? And also, men are emotional. They can't have a conversation no more, man. Right? And even when those conversations, what's going on? You look fascinated, brother. Come talk to us, King. 1 minute, one Bible verse.
Come on, brother.
All right, brother. Check that YouTube out, all right, brother? All praise to the Most High. But yeah, man, that's not love. And all the people around them don't love him. Damn, I gotta remember Ogletree. That's the damn coach tight end, right? But nevertheless, these are the things that we got to begin to understand, learn, hold nigh unto, right, in these last days, right? Here to close up in a minute, right? Let me get the book of Songs of Solomon, chapter 3, right? Boy, what's going on, brother? Trying to take a flyer for us?
Yeah, I got you, bro.
Just a YouTube channel going into our history of who we are. You believe in God?
Yeah.
You believe in Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
For real? Let me ask you one question. when you read the Bible, because I'm sure you might read every now and then. I'm not saying you read every day, but you might read every now and then, right? When you read the Bible, do you know what nation you are in it?
Nation?
Yeah.
Nah.
Nah. So when you read it, are you more so like you just reading it kind of for what kind of feel good to you and what you could take with you to learn from, and then you just go on about your day?
Our parents are Catholic, but I just started reading it.
Oh, so you just kind of started going on that journey. Okay, can I read you one? Can I read y'all one scripture then?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, right? What would you say your nationality is or your ethnicity?
Black.
Like, what
Yeah,
about you?
African-American.
African American? Okay, what about you? Mexican? Okay, cool. I'll read y'all one verse, all right?
All right.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68.
Read out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
All right, now I'm gonna speed it up. All right. The word Egypt goes back to the Hebrew word matzazarium, which means bondage, slavery, or captivity. All right. What was Moses famous for? What did he do? Right. Right, exactly. Exactly, right? He freed the Israelites, right? Why did he have to free them? Right, exactly. Exactly, right? So let's read this one more time. This is Moses speaking to a particular group of people, right? Called the Israelites. Let's see what he said about the Israelites. Go ahead.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt
Bondage and slavery.
again
Yeah.
with ships.
With ships. How did our people go into slavery on? No, I just said it, but how did we get to America?
Yeah.
On a ship. How did y'all get to different parts of Spain, Portugal, right? On ships. The whole reason of why y'all speak Spanish in the first place is why? Because y'all was colonized and conquered by who? The Spaniards.
Right.
The whole reason we speak English in the first place is what? The British, right? Which in turn ended up becoming what? The United States, right? In 1776 when they got their independence. So the point is, we were both conquered.
Right.
Through us getting conquered, right? The point, or my bad, before I jump the gun, right? Obviously, going into slavery on ships, that would pertain unto our people, right?
Right.
So far, by default, y'all would agree it got to be talking about the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So far, right? Let's finish the verse.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Watch this.
And there you should be sold unto your enemy.
Right? Obviously, we got sold to our enemies when we got off the slave ships, right? They got off the slave ships, they sold us. Read.
For by men
Slave men,
and by women,
slave women.
and no man shall buy you.
Said no man shall buy you, meaning redeemed, because we still haven't been redeemed out of this captivity.
Right.
We're still in the same land forcibly brought to. Right now, if I'm not mistaken, over there in Mexico, y'all president, if I'm not mistaken, is I don't want to say the actual word, but the Jewish woman, right? So and Mexico is known for having a lot of infiltration from other nations in it, right? Through the government, throughout the government systems, it's always crooked, so on and so forth. Why though? From the infiltration that comes from the outside too, right? That's not to say, understand they're not getting down, but nevertheless, right? It stems from the outside. So what am I saying? Right? Who's speaking right now? Y'all just said it earlier. Moses. Who is he speaking to? Y'all both said it already. Right. He's speaking to the Israelites. So if he told the Israelites that they was going to go into slavery on ships and that happened to our ancestors, wouldn't that make us the Israelites? Do it make sense or no? If it don't, I promise I want you to say, nah, that don't make sense. Do it make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
That's all we are. That's one of the things that we are here to tell our people.
Right.
Is to show them who they are, not according to what we think, but according to what the Bible says. You see what I'm saying? Because you got to think. You said African American, right?
Yeah.
The term African American was invented in 1988. So you would have people who older than a nationality. How is that possible? How can you be older than what you're supposed to be?
Right.
That don't make sense, right? Mexican, right? Y'all didn't start calling yourselves Mexicans until after y'all got colonized. Like I said earlier, y'all didn't start speaking Spanish until what? After y'all got colonized. So the heritages that we've grabbing a hold into is not the heritage that we had at the beginning with the Lord as the Israelites. All right, brother, you would be an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. Sister, you would be an Israelite from the tribe of Issachar. That's your God-given nationality. Because remember, you don't find the term Mexican in the Bible. You don't find the term African American in the Bible. So when you read it, you have to be able to know who you are in it. You got to know what pertains to you, what pertains to this particular people, what pertains to that particular people. You got to know what pertains to you. Because everything in here is not talking about every nation. Because obviously we just read something that wasn't talking about every nation on the earth. So clearly there's things that pertain to specific nations, right? So as y'all get, did y'all get a flyer yet? Okay, so on there it's a YouTube channel diving more and deeper into the truth about our identity, right? Because I ask people this all the time. Would y'all rather call yourself what God called y'all or what your oppressors called y'all?
That's right.
Your oppressor called you a Mexican.
Right.
Your oppressor called you a black, Negro. The list goes on. Color. Right? So we gotta trust in the Lord, right? And cleave on to what he called us and what he named us and what he ordained for us to follow. Right? Because what does Christ want us to follow? Right. And when we follow him, what do? Yeah. What does it look like to follow Christ? Because a lot of people say they follow Christ. But how can you, if you were studying somebody for a week, how would you know if that person follows Christ or not?
He gives his life to him. He knows to say somebody.
Forgiveness and love.
Repenting. Okay, repenting. You said love. Okay.
Fear of God.
Fear of God. Okay. Those are all beautiful attributes, right? Into following Christ, right? Let's see what he said out of his mouth, right? See how you love the Lord, right? Go to John chapter 14 and verse 21, right?
Book of John, chapter 14, and verse number 21.
Bring it out.
He that hath my commandments,
It says, he that hath my commandments
and keepeth them,
and what?
And keepeth them.
and
And keepeth them.
He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, read.
he it is that loveth me.
The Lord said, that's the one that loves me. The one that hath my commandments and keeps them, that's the one that loves me. Because love is an action word, right?
Right, right.
If you say you love her, you got to do what? You got to show her. If you say you love them, what you got to do? You got to show them. Right? Words only mean so much.
Right.
Right? Actions, right, way more than your words do. So when we serve the Lord or we follow in Christ, what? Our actions got to show it. Right? Because we can't wake up every morning, pray, and then go do everything he told us not to do. Right? We got to serve him in sincerity and in truth. Y'all would agree, right? Right? Last one, all right?
1 Peter 2 and 21. For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us.
Christ suffered, not just died. Christ suffered for us. Y'all know that, right? He suffered he died on the cross, but he suffered though. Right? He had to go through pain and turmoil. He was sweating blood. Before he even got crucified, he was sweating blood. Right? Because he suffered for us, right? And we have to repay him, right? And when I say repay, I mean we can't let that death go in vain by deliberately disobeying them all the time. No, we have to make an effort to do what? Be obedient. Right? Read.
Leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps.
See that it said leaving us an example. Right? So what did Christ do? Christ, he put forth the fruits of the spirit. Right? Guess what? We got to do those things. Right? Christ, guess what? He kept the commandments. Guess what we got to do? We got to keep the commandments to the best of our ability. Right? Christ loved his people. Guess what we got to do? Love our people.
That's right.
Right? It's a multitude of other different things, but those are the things and how you know if somebody is following Christ or not. Right? The Lord said the fruit declares the tree. Right? You should know them by their fruits. So we got to always ask ourselves, what are the fruits that we putting out? And are those fruits acceptable unto the Lord or are they not? And if they not, we got to repent and we got to get back on track. Right? So all praise to the Most High. Right? Before y'all leave, right? What did God call us? Are we black? Are you a black man? Are you a strong black man?
Yeah.
That's right, brother. That's right.
Right, King.
What's your nation called?
Nation?
Yeah.
Is it Judah or no?
Now that's your tribe. So yeah, you're right. Your tribe is Judah.
Right.
Right? Your nation is what? Oh,
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Israel.
That's right. Right, right. Right, brother.
Right, your nation is Israel, and your tribe is Judah. What about you, sis? Issachar. That's right. Issachar. That's your tribe. Your nation is what? That's right.
Right, that's right.
All praise to the Most High. For all praise.
So you said the term African American came in the 1980s?
Yeah, it was created by a man named Jesse Jackson. The man that just passed away, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah, he literally came up with that term, African American.
Right.
So your parents, I'm sure, will probably be older than that term. How can you be older than what your nationality is? That don't make sense.
Good question.
And then you got to think about it. Before 1988, what was they calling themselves?
Color.
Color. Blacks, right? Yeah, whites only, colored only, right? Black man, Negro, all these different terms,
Yeah.
right? The Lord is not a God of confusion, right? But it was also prophesied that these things will happen unto us, though. That we would lose our nationality, that we would lose our heritage, that we would lose who we are as a people because of our disobedience. That's why it's so important to love God. And how do we read? How do we read that you love Him? You just read it. That's right. That's
Right.
That's exactly right. By keeping His commandments, because remember, it's about actions. Obviously, the faith, obviously, but you can have a lot of faith, but if your actions don't match your faith, it's just this at the end of the day. It's just talk, right? Nobody likes just the talker,
Yeah.
right? Nobody likes that. I'm sure you don't like that, right? And I'm sure you don't like that. Somebody just talk, he's a damn, just a talker. He say he gonna do this, he never do it. She say she gonna do this, she never do it. Now they word over time becomes what? It starts to diminish,
Right.
right? So we don't want that to be how it is with us and the Father,
Right.
right? So what do we got to do? The actions got to come right behind your words, right? So as the Israelites, y'all understand we got to keep the commandments to the best of our ability, right? Can we give y'all one commandment before y'all leave? It'll take 30 seconds. All right, give me Leviticus 11:7. Last thing before y'all leave.
Leviticus 11, verse number 7.
Read out.
And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed.
What is swine? Pig, right? Said, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed. Go ahead.
Yeah, he cheweth not the cud.
Right? Say he cheweth not the cud because pigs don't properly digest their food.
Right.
Right? And they don't sweat. They don't have the proper amount of sweat glands to be able to sweat toxins out. You ever been laying down in the bed or sitting down or something, and you was eating a big meal, and you damn near sweating a little bit or you glistening? That's because your body is trying to push out toxins that's within inside of it. Pigs don't have that attribute. So all the toxins that's within inside of a pig, it stay inside.
Right.
Right?
He is unclean to you.
The Lord said the pig is unclean, right? Let's see that now that we understand the pig is unclean, what did the Lord say about the pig? Read.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you.
So the Lord said He don't want us to eat it, right? Because you got to remember, God has chosen, God has children, right? It's certain things when it comes to your children. Right? Hey, you want to keep them away from certain things. You're like, nah. Why? Because it's for their well-being, right? It's for their well-being that they don't indulge in certain things. Like manner for us, it's for our well-being that we listen to the Father and not indulge pork.
Right.
That don't mean you can't eat meat. Now you damn, I gotta go vegan. Nah, right? You got turkey bacon, turkey sausage, right? Beef sausage, beef bacon, beef pepperoni, beef ribs, lamb chop. The list goes on. You can still eat, you can still do your thing, but we don't have to bring ourselves down to the level of being subject to pork.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So do y'all think that's a commandment that you have to work on? Yeah. Y'all think that's too hard? Nah. Why is it not too hard? Because I love God, right? When we love God, how do we know we love Him? All right, exactly.
Right,
By the actions. All right, so Lord willing, y'all can build upon that right these last days. All right, family? Y'all be safe for y'all down here, man. I appreciate y'all for giving us your time. All right. All praise to the Most High. God. Right, all praise to the Most High, right? So we'll all praises that they stop, gave the time, like we keep saying over and over again, they stopped, gave the time, and then what? Got fed, huh? They got fed the words of the Lord, and these are the things that our people need in the last days, man. Right? The Lord willing, they're able to do what? Build off of it.
Right.
Build off of it. You know, no, you don't know what they probably get to chill, and that might be the topic of discussion. Topic of discussion. What on top of that? What else? She might have some questions for her parents. Said it parents pastors, so he might have questions for them, huh? Right? With the intent to grow, not necessarily with the intent to cause strife and confusion, but with the intent to unlock your mind, huh? Free your mind. What is it? Free your mind. Right? Because that's what we come out here to do. We come out here to free the minds of our people.
Right.
Because they said Zechariah chapter 1 and look at Zechariah chapter 1, and I believe I'm on 18. Let me see that. Start at 20. We gonna get right to the point.
Look at Zechariah chapter 1, verse 20.
Bring it out.
And the Lord showed me 4 carpenters.
What?
4 carpenters.
Said the Lord showed me 4 carpenters. Right? What is the job of a carpenter? What are things carpenters do?
Build.
Right? They build. They also destroy though.
Right.
They tear things down. Right? They pull stuff up. They unroot things. They repair. They restore. They plant. They do a multitude of different things associated with what? Restore. All it is restoration. Restoration. That's what they do. They restore. Restoration. Right? And that's what we come out to the highways and byways to do. Is to do what? Restore. Right? Right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Howard was a carpenter, man. Right? His pops was a carpenter. Right? So it said these carpenters, read.
Then said I, what come these to do? And he spake, saying, these are the horns.
These are the what?
These
These
are
are the horns.
Judah.
These nations have scattered us throughout the 4 corners of the earth.
Right.
Right? And not only have they scattered us, but in the process, they have done what? Right? Like you read about in the book of Micah, chapter 3, and 1 on down, they flayed our skin from above of us, which goes into what? The understanding, the wisdom, the commandments. They have torn these things apart, ripped these things off, right? They have unclothed us and made us naked on a spiritual level, right? To be able to do what? Walk in the newness of spirit, be able to serve the God in sincerity and in truth, right? To be able to do the things that we ought to do in righteousness, like in righteousness. Read.
So that no man did lift up his head. But these are come to fray them.
But these are come to fray them, meaning what? To break it down, destroy it. And that's what we got to come out here and do at times. At times, the Lord said, give me that in the book of hold that. Give me the Ecclesiastes 3 and 1. Right? It's a time for everything.
Right.
Right? It's a time for everything, but it's a time and a season. Right? It's not always time to do everything. It's not always time to do certain things. Right? But it's a time and a place for everything, though. Right? Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
To everything there is a season and a time.
What?
And a time to every purpose.
Time to every purpose. Right? Go ahead.
Under the heaven.
Yeah, right. In the time to every purpose under the heaven. So as a carpenter, at times, it's a time to tear down. And when we come out here, sometimes we got to tear down strongholds that people go through. Sometimes people come with doctrines. Guess what? We got to tear it down. Right? Sometimes they come with this or that. And guess what? It's at that point in time, we got to tear it down. Right? And then we got to do what? We got to build it back up with truth. That solid foundation. Right? Sometimes things just need some understanding behind it. So sometimes you might not even have to tear it down. You just may have to give the correct understanding to it.
Right.
So at that part, you're not tearing it down. All right, you know what, that nail kind of coming out over there, right? Let me put that back in there. Right, this drywall right here, or this not drywall, but the paper. Right, let's tear this paper off. We don't got to beat the wall down, but tear the paper down. Right, tear the paper down, sand it down a little bit. Right, put a new paper on. Right, sometimes it's you got to be skillful. Right, but go ahead.
Then said I, what come thee to do? And he spake, saying, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, so that no man did lift up his head. But these are come to fray them.
Right.
to cast out the horns of the Gentiles.
What?
To
Cast out the horns of the Gentile.
People drunk, man.
Right, right, right.
People, they got our people of a lowly estate, man. They got our people hating their own people, man. Hating their own brothers, hating their own sisters, man. Hating God, right? And not even knowing it. Right? Hating the Lord and not even knowing it. They think they love him, but their actions say something different.
Right, right.
Right? So the Lord got to send the carpenters out there to do what? Hey, to fray those things away, man. They gotta get gone. Get away from here, man. Right? Read on.
to cast out the horns of the Gentiles, which lifted up their horn over the land of Judah to scatter it.
What?
To scatter it.
Right? And that's what we got to do. We got to bring our people back. Right? Because the nations, what are they doing? They scattering our people in a literal sense, but on a spiritual level, they scattering the people. They scattering the people. That's why even when you read that in Amos, right, where it said there'd be a famine in the land, right? What does it say after that? It said the people they going from mountain to hill, meaning what? They going to all these different nations for what? Understanding. Because the way of truth gonna be hidden.
Right.
So you
right.
can have a lot of people going over here, going to this nation. And when I say going to this land, I'm not talking about going to the land. I'm talking about they understanding,
Right,
they
right.
wisdom, they knowledge. You got some people that's gonna hold tighter and tighter to Islam, man, during that time. You got some people that gonna say, man, my cousin, he a Muslim, man. Let me go talk to him, man. He might know what's going on. And guess what? They're gonna cleave unto that. Right? But while we out here, while the Lord got us out here through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, right? We gonna come out here and be those carpenters that fray those horns away, man, through the spirit. Right? As long as if it's of the Lord's will, that's what we gonna do. Right? Until the Lord say otherwise. Right? Until then, we're gonna come out and we're gonna feed the people what they need in the last days.
Right, right.
People need these things the same way we needed it. Right? I know I needed this, man. I know I needed it. I feel like I didn't have a purpose. I feel like I missed my chance on what I thought my purpose was.
Right.
I'm like, dang, man, that shit been sailed on me now, man. Dang, now I felt like I was lost. Right? Felt like I was lost the whole time, right? I was right on the path that the Lord wanted me to be on. Right? But we got to be patient in those things as well, right? So what's going on, family? Y'all trying to take a flyer for us? All right, family, y'all guys show some people, all right? Be safe while we down here. Right, so what's going on, brother? Trying to take a flyer? It's just a YouTube channel going into our history, that's all. All right, we gotta show some people, brother. We the Israelites, all right? Y'all be safe while y'all down here. Right, so give me the book of Jeremiah chapter 15 and verse 15. Jeremiah 15.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 15, verse 15.
Bring it out.
Oh Lord, thou knowest. Remember me.
We do what?
Remember me.
We want the Lord to remember us, man.
Right, right.
When we going through our trials and our tribulations, we want the Lord to remember us, man. Right? When all hell break loose, we want the Lord to remember us, man. When that evil day comes, we pray that the Lord remember us, man. We must that the Lord remember us, man. We prisoners of hope. Right? We prisoners of hope, man.
Right,
That's what
right.
we got on. That's what we got. Right? That's what we gonna hope it. That's what we gonna hold tight unto. That's what we gonna draw ourselves nigh unto, man. That's what we gonna stand 10 toes upon. Right? Because we believe we got that hope, huh? Right? So we want the Lord to remember us. Go ahead.
Oh Lord, thou knowest. Remember me and visit me.
What?
And visit me.
And we want the Lord to visit us, man. Right? On many levels. We want the Lord to visit us when we reading, right? When we studying. We want the Lord to come and sup with us. Right? We want our people to come sup with us, so on and so forth. We want our people to understand. We want our people to understand what's going on, brother. Yeah, you my brother. Right? You trying to take a flyer for us? It's just a YouTube channel going into our history. What's this about? This about our heritage. Right? Let me ask you, how old are you? You don't mind me asking? 14. All right, all right. You believe in God? You believe in Jesus Christ? Yeah. So what would you say Jesus Christ looked like?
Like the Jews.
Say, huh?
Black or Jewish.
Okay, black or Jewish. So one thing I'm gonna address is black a nationality? Is Jewish a look? I said what he looked like. You said either black or Jewish. So what does the real Jews look like?
Good question.
Can we read it for you in the Bible? Okay, let's see what the Bible say. Right, the Jews look like. Right, let me get the book of Songs of Solomon, chapter 1. All right, y'all be safe while y'all down here, family. All right, what God call y'all? That's right, brother. That's right. Right. These Songs of Solomon 1. Right, you ever heard of King David? Right, this is his son. Right, let's see what his son said.
Song of Solomon 1 and verse number 5. I am black.
I am what?
I am black.
I am black. All right. So King David's son said, I'm black. Read.
But comely.
Wasn't David a Jew? Yeah, he was a Jew. So wouldn't that make his son a Jew too? Right. So King Solomon was a Jew and he said, I am black. But what?
But comely.
The word comely means handsome. Right? Handsome or beautiful. Yeah. Right? So basically, all he's saying was he was a handsome black man. That's in the Bible. Have you ever heard that verse before? Right. So if one a mighty prominent Jew, you understand, named King Solomon, right, was black and comely, right? Let's fast forward. Let's read about another man. Right? You ever heard of Paul? All right, let's see what Paul looks like. All right, give me Acts chapter 21 and 37.
Acts 21 and verse 37.
Bring it on.
And as Paul was to be led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain.
Right, so real quick, Paul right now is being led to prison, or being led into, better yet, he's being led to court, basically. Right, and in that, he's talking to the guard, and he says to the guard, can I speak to you? Right, we're going to read it one more time. Watch this.
As Paul was to be led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, may I speak unto thee?
May I speak unto thee, Greek?
Who said, canst thou speak Greek?
So the guard replied with, how you know how to speak Greek? Right, watch this.
Art not thou that Egyptian?
Art thou not? Ain't you an Egyptian? Why would they mistake Paul for being an Egyptian? Because he was a dark-skinned man.
Right.
Right? The ancient Egyptians wasn't the people that's over there right now. The ancient Egyptians was a dark-skinned people. See what I'm saying? So they mistake Paul for it. They're like, ain't you an Egyptian? How you know how to speak Greek? Right now, was Paul an Egyptian? What was Paul? Right, exactly. He was a Jew.
Right.
So if Paul was a Jew and they mistaken him for an Egyptian because he was so dark, right? King Solomon, the son of King David, straight up and down saying, I'm black and handsome, or I'm black and beautiful. Right? Let's get one more. Right? We don't even got to get the last one, because what we usually, Christ, actually we do got to get the last one. Because you said either black or Jewish. Right? So go to Revelation chapter 1, right, in verse 13. Let's see what Christ looked like.
Bring it on.
Right? Because you got a man named James. Start at verse 11 for me. You got a man named James, right, that wrote what Christ looked like. All right? So let's see what he said. Or so like a John, not James. So like
Revelations 1 and verse number 11.
Bring it on.
Stand, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, and what thou seest.
He's telling John the Revelator, whatever you see, do what with it.
Write in a book.
Write it down. So let's see what he wrote down based off of what he saw. Go ahead.
And verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man,
talking about Jesus Christ. Go ahead.
clothed with a garment down to the foot and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
What texture is woolly? What texture is wool? Right. What you got?
Right.
What you see up here? Thick hair. Right? Read.
As white as snow.
Right. If you got grandparents, right, or if you see a man that's of the age of an ancient age, what? His hair turn what? Right. Exactly. Go ahead.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Yeah, red eyes. Go ahead.
His feet like unto fine brass.
Feet was like a fine brass. What color is brass? Right, it's basically this color right here. It's like the color of a penny. Right, it's a brown. It's a derivative of brown, a brownish color. Right, but now he gonna go in detail when describing this color though. Watch this.
His feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace.
Not only did he tell you the color, but he told you how dark of a color.
Right, right.
Meaning what? He said as if it burned in a furnace. When you burn something, what happened to it? It get darker.
Sorry.
So what did John describe? A dark-skinned man.
Right, right, right.
So we got King Solomon, who was the wisest man upon the face of the earth, right? Calling himself, right, a handsome black man, right? We got Paul, who is responsible for writing a good portion of the so-called New Testament. He was so dark they mistook him for an Egyptian. And then we got Christ himself being depicted as a dark-skinned man as well.
Right, right.
That's three prominent people in the scriptures, right? And obviously we understand that all three of these men were what? Jews, right? So the question becomes, brother, who are we then?
Good question.
So we keep reading about stuff that look like it's talking about us or sound like it's talking about us, right? Did God call us African Americans? Did God call us black people as a nation? What about FBA? Oh my bad, you might not know what that means. Foundational Black American. Nah, that don't even make sense, right? But what do you think he called us? Last one, right? Deuteronomy 28:68. This is the point, or this is the answer, all right?
Deuteronomy 28, verse 68.
Bring it out.
The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
The Lord shall bring me into Egypt, right? The word Egypt goes back to the Hebrew word Mizraim or Montezarium, which means bondage or slavery. All right, read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
How did we get to America? How did our ancestors get here? Did we spawn here like on Call of Duty? Right, well, right, you right. What happened? Right, exactly. So what road of transportation did we come over here? Boom, watch this.
With ships.
What?
With ships.
Like you said, right? Guess what? The Bible agrees with you.
Right, right.
Or vice versa, you agree with the Bible. So by default, so far, who does that gotta be talking about? It gotta be talking about us.
Right, right.
Right? Everybody didn't go into slavery on ships, right? But a particular group of people did, correct? So with that being said, this is Moses speaking to a particular nation of people. The name of that particular nation of people is who you are. All right. What's the name of that particular people? All right, 29:1.
29, verse 1, Deuteronomy.
Bring it out.
These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
Children of who?
The
The
children of Israel.
Israel.
Right, to be with the children of Israel. Right? So he called the people what? What name? We just read it. The children of Israel. Right? The Jews come from the nation of Israel, right? Right. So Moses was talking to what people? You right? But what was the name of them though? Huh? That's right.
Right, that's right.
That's right. You're exactly right, brother. Right. So if that's the case, are we still black people? Did God call us that? Who are we, brother? That's right. That's right, brother. Clap it up for the brother, man. That's right, brother. We the children of Israel. You just learned something. Do you agree with it though? Yeah, it makes sense. Right. Hey, rocket science necessarily, but these are the things that our people have to begin to learn though. Right? We can't go the rest of our life. You got a beautiful opportunity at a young age to know this.
Right.
A lot of people don't get to be able to learn all of this at such a young age as yourself. Right? Some people go half their life, right? Your life times two without knowing. Right? But you got the opportunity to do something special, brother, all right? And that's come back to your God-given nationality and your heritage, right? And learn to serve the Lord in sincerity and in truth. All right, King? So the point is, brother, you God's chosen people, all right? What God call you one last time? That's right, brother. That's right, brother. All right, you got any questions? All right, brother. Enjoy your day, King. Be safe while you down here, please. All right. I hope you got a jacket in that book bag, man. You look cold, brother. Like you going through it, brother. All right. So all praise to the Most High. Come on, brother. You got 2 minutes, brother, for one Bible verse, brother. You just spent the block on us. You just spent the block on us. You might as well give us 1 minute now. You say, huh? Whatever. We love you, brother. It's all love. We just out here trying to uplift our people in the last days. All right, King. All right, y'all guys chosen people. All right, family. We the Israelites. Y'all be safe while y'all down here. All right. What's going on, King? Trying to take a flyer for us? Just a YouTube channel. Going into our history.
He got one.
Don't forget us in there, brother. All right. Be safe, family. All right, so all praise to the Most High God. All right, all praise. Let's go back to that in Jeremiah. And real quick, it is a beautiful thing that you got young kids who are able to grasp, right, who they are, man.
Right, right.
Like I said, a lot of brothers didn't get the opportunity to really have these things broke down to them at a young age, man. Man, when I was 14, man, what? My mind was gone from far from thinking about it. I didn't even give a damn. Like that was the last thing my mind was on. Right? When I was 16, that was the last thing my mind was on. Mind you, though, I went to church and everything, though. I'm in church, so on and so forth. But a wicked nigga, though. Still doing it. It was weird. I was off, man. Right? They say the pastor kids be the worst ones, man.
Right.
Damn. Bring this out.
Look at Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 15.
Bring it out.
Oh Lord, thou knowest. Remember me.
What?
Remember me
And visit me.
What?
and visit me.
Earth in the last days, man.
Right, right.
And not only is he doing that, but he's visiting his people, man.
Right.
And he's supping with the people, and he's allowing the people and allowing the understanding to be able to be open unto them, opening the minds of our people to be able to grasp. You understand this knowledge and understanding. The gates are flowing open, man. Right, that river of knowledge and understanding is overflowing right now at this point, man. Right, the brother was just talking about it earlier today, man. When we 6 years ago, man, when we was out on the highways and byways doing it, it was not this many people that you didn't run across a lot of people that knew what was going on. Nowadays, even if they don't know what's going on, they heard of the Israelites before.
Right, right.
Whether that be from a funny video that was on social media or that's just a topic of discussion, whatever it may be, they heard of it though. Back then, it was like a damn grave, man. It was like a grave. Brothers gonna have to precept in 1 Corinthians 16 earlier. Right, big flyer, King. You guys chosen people, brother. All right, we the Israelites, right? Brother brought out the precept earlier in 1 Corinthians 16. About being refreshed, but man, back then when we came across somebody that knew, we was like, thank you. It felt like a damn reunion, damn near almost, man. We was so happy, right? Because it was just and I can only imagine, right, how it was for the elders and stuff when it was really starting to brew up, man. I can only imagine how it was for them, right? So it's beautiful to be able to see the work and the spirit, it's beautiful to be able to see the spirit of the Lord going throughout the four corners of the earth with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It's beautiful to be able to see it, man. It's beautiful to see a brother walk past and say shalom out of nowhere, man. You be like, so what? Sometimes brothers saying you kind of be caught off guard, like, damn, did he say? Yeah, you kind of gotta ask him again. What you say? Shalom, hey, because. But all praise to y'all about Shemiah Shine. Like we brought out earlier in Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 15, the Lord is doing what? He's increasing the nation in the last days, man. He's increasing the nation of righteousness, man. Right? And it's beautiful to see, and we gotta hold to it, and we gotta help that. We gotta help them. We gotta be a part of this, part of the growth, right? You wanna take a flyer for us? Just a YouTube channel going into our history, all right? Be safe while you're down here. Right? But we got to be a part of that growth. We got to be the reason for growth and not the reason for decline. Not the reason for holding up the line. Right? You ever been somewhere and somebody's holding up the line because they arguing with whatever going on? It's like, man, just come on, man. All right, just get your step. Come on, man. Just holding up the line. We don't want to be that. We don't want to be the ones holding up the line, whether that be we'll be by ourselves, right? In the secrets of your home, and you being unruly or you're not doing the things that's pleasing in the sight of the Lord, right? Or whether we out here and we trying to feed the little ones, or whether we at work and we trying to be a righteous example, we go to the store trying to be a righteous example. We don't want to hinder it in no way, shape, form, or fashion, right? We want to be the ones, right, that help forward, right, the opening of the floodgates of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the truth. Not just any wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, but the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of this truth, man. That changed so many of our lives, man. Right? So many of our lives, and for good, man. Right? Go ahead, bring this up.
And revenge me of my persecutor.
Right? And that's going to happen as well, man. So in the midst of the Lord visiting us, in the midst of the Lord hearing us, in the midst of the Lord, right, gathering us together, guess what the Lord also is going to do, man? We want, guess what we will also want the Lord to do? We want the Lord to avenge us. We want him to avenge his children, man.
Right.
Any right man, father or mother in their right mind would want them. All right. Anyone would, right? People talk about justice all the time, except for when it comes to the words of the Lord. Now there's no need for justice no more. Now, ain't no need for justice no more. Now, only when it pertains right to something outside of it. But all throughout the Bible, the Lord talks about it. Right, and the Lord wants it. Right, the Lord said He sit up on His throne and He's angry with the wicked every day. Huh? Right, so that means it's just what? Oh, it's cooking, it's stirring up. Right, it's slow cooking. You ever had slow cooked beef ribs, man, where they fall off the bone?
See that?
Right, that anger of the Lord, slow cooking, and what we always what Ezekiel prophesied about. Ezekiel prophesied that what that anger of the Lord, He was going to place it upon who? On His children, man.
Right.
For His children to do what? His will. That's in the Bible. Don't get mad at us. All we do is come out here and read the Bible.
That's all we do, Art.
Read the Bible. Get mad at the prophets that prophesied it, not us.
Right.
We just read in the verse. These same words is on the same words that they read it. But they want to get mad at us for reading it. But we're gonna read it all day long.
Right.
Right? We're gonna continue these things. Right? What's going on, family? Y'all trying to take a flyer for us? It's just a YouTube channel going into our history, all right? That God's chosen people. Be safe while y'all out here. Right? Go ahead.
Take me not away in thy long suffering.
Right? So take us not away in our long suffering, man. Right? Don't cast us away, don't cast us to the side, but be long suffering with us, Lord. We trying. Right? And the beautiful thing about it is the Lord knows. Right? You read about that in Sirach chapter 17. Right? You also read about that in Judah chapter 8. Right? 24 on down. Right? Real quick, hold that. Right? Go to Sirach chapter 17 and 21.
Right. 17, verse 1.
21.
17 and verse 21.
Bring it on.
But the Lord being gracious.
Lord, what?
But the Lord being gracious.
What was that grace? What was that grace the Lord was giving to us, man? All them times we effed up.
Right.
All those times the Lord could have easily destroyed us. And that the Lord said, I can make a nation out of stones. Right. We got to remember that we the ones that need Him, not the other way around.
That's right.
Right? That's what we got to realize. People think the Lord don't need me.
Right.
The Lord can cast me out like a I ain't gonna say it, but like you read about it in the scriptures, like a cough, man. And let everything keep going the same way, man. The Lord don't need nobody, man. Right? The Lord, when you read Exodus, He was getting ready to destroy like we always say, he was getting ready to destroy the whole nation of Israel and create a whole new nation out of Moses. Right. Mozarts. See that? He said, don't do it. Right. So on, okay. Right there, don't do it. God, man. Please. I'm glad, like what we just read right here said is grace, it's graciousness, right? His mercy, his compassion. But most important, well, not most importantly, but also, right? Let's keep reading.
And knowing his workmanship.
And knowing what?
And knowing his workmanship.
That right there. Knowing what he created. The Lord understand. The Lord told you that. He said, "For I knew that you were a stiff-necked people." The Lord said, "I knew you wasn't gonna lie. I knew it." But with the Lord knowing it, he's patient with us. He's long suffering with us. He's gracious unto us, merciful unto us. Right? Read.
God, his workmanship, neither left nor forsook them.
Right? Neither left nor forsook us,
but spared them.
Did what?
But spared them.
The Lord spared us, man. Spared us. You hear Jake be like, man, I'm really sparing you right now. No, the Lord's sparing you right now, man. The Lord's sparing us right now, man.
Right.
Because you got to think, no matter what you go through, you worthy of death.
Yep.
So at any time something happens to you, you can't say, oh, this, that. No, you're supposed to be dead. But the Lord spared us. The Lord keeps sparing us, man. Right? Giving us the opportunity to be able to what? Get this thing right, huh? Right. He keep giving us rehearsal. Right? You got a play going on. Right? You might have a certain number of rehearsals. Right? The Lord keep giving us those rehearsals, man. To practice what need to be practiced until we can get it right, man. Until the day of his great coming. Right? And that's what we want. That's what we love. And that's what we're gonna continue to hope in. Right? And the ones that don't hold that or hold that, go to Hosea chapter 14 and 9 real quick. Yeah, come on, we gonna hold that.
Look at Hosea chapter 14, verse 9.
Bring it out. Who is wise?
And he shall understand.
The wise will understand these things, Marie.
Who is wise, and he shall understand these things. Prudent.
What's going on, fam? Y'all trying to take a flyer for us? It's just a YouTube channel going into our history. Bro. It's just a YouTube channel, King. Y'all be safe while y'all down here, all right? Y'all gotta show some people. All right, what's going on, OG? You trying to take a flyer for us? All praise to the Most High. You guys show some people, King. We the Israelites. Y'all be safe while y'all down here. All praises, right? Go ahead.
Prudent, and he shall know them. For the ways of the Lord are right.
Are they wrong?
For the ways of the Lord are right.
Oh,
For the ways of the Lord are right.
our way is better.
For the
Ways of the Lord are right.
And the just shall walk in this.
Just man, he'll walk in it. All right. Not even just the just man, but the man that's trying. The man that has a sincere heart to serve the Lord. The man that's drawing nigh unto the Lord, like you read about in the book of James. Read.
But the transgressors,
The wicked, the ones that want to blow smoke in the servants of the Lord face, the ones that want to poke their chests out, the ones that think they know it all, the ones that don't want to humble down, the ones that, you understand, want to continue to follow something ultimately, right, that they don't even believe in, right? So, because why do we say they don't really believe in it? Because they following it and believing, or they following it and they hold it to it because that's what allows them to still be wicked.
Right.
It enables them, right? And there's no correction behind it. There's no accountability behind these other religions, right? And it allows you to fulfill the lust that you got. It allows you to fulfill the lust of the flesh, right? It allows you to do that. That's why the elemental P community, that's why it's okay for them to go into the church, right? That's why they can be the choir director, right? That's why the fornicators, they can go into the church and find them a wife, man, right? Or lay down with a sister, then go to another sister, then go to another one. That's why the deacons can go in there and rob the church. That's why they ain't because it's right.
My point was I was on TikTok doing I joined somebody's live. It was a brother who had a lace front wig and all nails, and the wig was pink. But I went on there and I was trying to, you know, out of love, correct my brother. He said, "Hold on, let me put my camera." The man flipped his camera. He was sitting at a desk, flipped his camera, and the little thing that you put on your desk. It said director of church operation.
I thought it was about to go real left. That's you know where that was going. I'm yeah.
Yeah, he's sick of
Oh shit. I thought all hell was about to break loose when the camera flipped. But that's off though. Right, that's off, and that's exactly what we talking about right there, man. Right? That's what we talking about right there. Right? It allows there's no accountability. Right? It's truth, it's gonna hold you accountable, man. Right? Because if you believe in the truth, you believe in the commandments, and you believe that these are the things that you gotta follow. But guess what? When you can say the commandments is done, or the law, not the law is done away with, guess what? You don't gotta go and deal with the fornication or the fornication and the this and the that and the other thing. You don't gotta deal with none of that.
I was about to say, when he put the camera and showed me it said director of church operations, he justified it by saying when he came to the church, he was whitelisted. And the pastor told him, well, the Bible says, come as you are. And this is how you come in. We accept you with love.
Right, man. Look, we you can come as you are to the Lord in the with the intent to change,
Right.
not to still be in that same fashion as you are, but with the intent to have the Lord clean you up, like you read about in the book of Psalm chapter 51, huh? Where he said, where David prayed to the Lord, he said, purge me with hyssop that I may be clean, right? That I may be whiter than snow, paraphrase him, huh? Right? And then he said what? And then he said what? And then shall I teach the transgressors thy ways, man. So you go with the intent to change. That's why you come as you are. That's why the Lord, you understand, was among the wine bibbers and was among the so on and so forth. Right? Not, oh, I'm come as I am, so I'm still gonna be this way forever. No, that's off. That's wicked, right? And the Lord ain't got nothing for that, man. It's gonna be a lot of woes for a lot of people like that or that think like that, man. Right? A lot of woes for a lot of people that think like that, unless they humble down and understand the truth. Right. Right. And that's what we want for all our people. We understand we got some stiff neck people. We understand that we get into when I say get into it biblically with our people from time to time because they got their thing or what they or it's not even because they got their thing, it's because they go against what the Bible say, actually. Right. But after that, we don't hate those brothers, man. We don't hate those sisters, man. I don't leave from here. I don't leave from here no matter what. I don't leave from here thinking in my mind, man, Lord, I want the Lord to destroy that, bro. No, that's off. Right? What's going on, brother? You trying to take a flyer, King? Right? That's off. We supposed to come out here with the intent to be able to and hope that they turn away from that. Because what if we was walking down, right, and his brothers in the truth that when they first heard the truth, they didn't automatically hearken.
Right. Right.
Right, I'm not gonna call out names, but you got people that's in the truth now and been in the truth for years. But when they first heard it, they was asking questions, but not asking questions with the intent to learn, but asking the questions to scoff. They didn't say it out their own mouth though. So what we gotta say, man? We hope the Lord kill that nigga. Nah, because look at the result of what the Lord can do. The Lord can take somebody like that damn near scoffed once upon a time or didn't believe it at once upon a time, and now have them being on the front lines for the Lord, man.
Right. Right.
Right? Raising them up from the dirt.
Right.
The same thing happened to right? But nonetheless, right? Let's read on. Jeremiah. Look at that from the top.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 15, verse 15.
Bring it out.
O Lord, thou knowest, remember me, and visit me, and revenge me of my persecutor. Take me now away in thy long suffering. Know that for thy sake I have suffered rebuke.
What?
I have suffered rebuke.
Hey, for the Lord, hey, we have age. We didn't got rebuke, reprove, we get cut. I still get cut when I read the scriptures, man. If you read the scriptures and you don't get cut no more, your mind bad. Right? Just because you're an Israelite now, oh no, I don't get cut when I read the scripture. Nah. That's why it's so important for us to read. That's why it's important to read, because when you read it, that's you cleansing yourself. That's that spiritual cleansing that you getting when you read, huh? When you read it, no matter when you read in the law, right? When you read in the wisdom of the scriptures, when you read in these certain accounts, you might read about how hard Paul was going. He said, "Damn, man, I gotta check myself, man." Right? You may read about the faith you understand that men had in the scriptures and say, "Thanks, I gotta increase my faith in these last days, man." Right? And you had men who was damn near on their deathbed, but they still had a mind to do the work of the Lord, man. Right? Hey, Stephen, you dealing with a grudge? That man died asking the Lord to forgive the same people who was killing him. But Jake wanted to hold a grudge for $20. So yeah, man, when we read this book, man, and that's why this book is such a beautiful book. All right, what's going on, brother? You trying to take a flyer for us, King? It's just a YouTube channel. All right, brother, be safe while you're down here, King. All right, we the Israelites. Right, so this Bible, you understand, it's not just a good story time.
Right.
Story time. You get in bed, you put 2 covers on you, right? You wiggle your toes, right? You clap, and your light turn off and your night light come on, right? And then you read, huh? Right? Until you fall asleep with your thumb in your mouth, huh? That's not what this book is for, man. Right? But it's for the what? To be able to correct us and guide us in these last days, man. Right? For us to be able to look for and know what the signs are, so on and so forth, a multitude of things, man. So yeah, when we read this book, yeah, we get cut, man, from time to time, man. Dang, I gotta go harder. Dang, I gotta stop doing this. Dang, I was wrong in what I did. It's important to read too, because you may think you was justified in doing something, and the Lord may have you read a particular, you ain't never really studied or went into it for real. But the Lord might have you go into something through the Spirit, and now you read in that account, and it's like, damn. Now you cut, but you cut with the intent to better yourself, though.
Right.
With the intent to change for the better, to grow in the Spirit, man. Right? Not to damn do whatever, man, or to ignore it and say, you know what, I don't like this book no more. We need a third testament.
That's madness.
That's not how this thing works, man. Right? So we ain't gonna never finish this verse.
Verse 16. Thy words were found. Thy words were found, and I did eat them.
And I did eat them.
We found the words of the Lord.
Right.
We didn't find the words of the Lord because we was looking for them. We found the words of the Lord because the Lord gave it to us, man.
Right.
And when he gave it to us, guess what we did? We had to eat it up, man. Right? We had to eat up the words of the Lord, right? We had to eat the whole roll, man. Right, Reed?
Thy words were found, and I did eat them. And thy word was unto me the joy,
what?
The joy,
What?
The joy, and rejoicing of my heart.
Go ahead.
For I am called by thy name.
I am what?
I am called by thy name.
You come into this thing, man, and you called by the name of the Lord, man.
Right.
Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, man. Called by the name of the Lord, meaning what? Meaning you're a representation of what the Lord is. Right. Right? You supposed to be that image of the Lord, man. Right? Christ being the image, that would mean that what? He's of the Lord. That's why he said, if you see me, you seen the Father. Why? Because I come in the likeness of, meaning what? Hey, I operate as the Father operates. I love like how the Father loved. I hate like how the Lord hates. Right? But all those things are being done in righteousness, with righteous intent. So guess what? We not hating our own people. We loving our people, man. Right? We not putting snares in the midst of our people, man. We telling them, hey, watch out for that. Right? we're not laying stumbling blocks, but instead we giving them foundations to be able to build off of. Right? Read.
Like, huh? I'm gonna start right here at the top. Thy words were found, and I did eat them. And thy word was unto me the joy and rejoicing of my heart.
Right?
For I am called by thy name.
What?
For I
I am called by thy name.
O Lord God of hosts.
Oh, Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach, woman like y'all side with that. Yourself.
Come here, Saulo. Come here, Saulo. Come here, Saulo.